Would you like to see a complete music studio tour of my home studio? Then keep watching! So I'm now standing here in my kitchen, and that is the door to my studio. It is actually only a small extra room in my apartment that I have made into my music and video production studio. It's only about 6 square meters big, but I have made it work, so let's go inside and have a look. So first you have to watch your step, because the legs of my big video tripod is actually right here in the doorway. Let's sweep the camera over the room so you will get an overview of my setup. My studio is optimized for an effective workflow, so when I sit in this chair, I want to be able to reach everything around me that I need when I compose and produce music. This desk is from IKEA. It's actually a work desk, but it has a big surface and it's a heavy-duty desk that can hold all of my gear. In the future I will definitely get a real studio desk, but this one works for me now. The command center of any music studio obviously is a computer. I use an iMac with high performance specs, and I even chose to go for the 1 terabyte integrated SSD storage, which has made a huge difference in performance. I also cannot work without an extra screen. This is the Dell UltraSharp, same resolution as my iMac, which makes it easy to drag windows between them. Then I have 3 USB drives where I store my sample libraries, plugins, projects, etc. After my computer, I feel that the inputs into the computer are the most important part of my studio, because I need to input my ideas to make my tracks. My audio interface is this little great looking piece of gear here. It is called Balance and has served me really well. It is made by a Swedish company called Propellerhead. Next is my master MIDI keyboard. I currently use the Native Instruments Complete Control, the 49 keys version. The best thing with this is the great integration with all Native Instrument sounds. To the right here I have my trusted Studio Logic MIDI keyboard with full-sized piano-weighted keyboard. This is the keyboard I use to input all dynamic instruments like strings and orchestra, piano and choir. Let's continue with microphones. My main vocal microphone is this one on the flexible arm mount. It's the Rode NT1A, and I especially use it for voiceover work for my videos. It is also great to have a mic that you can reach from your production chair, so you can hum in melody ideas, etc. By the way, the flexible arm is also from Rode. If I want to get really dry vocals, I use this mic here, which I have mounted using this vocal reflection filter. The mic is called ADK A51. I have mounted the mic super close to the screen because I have found that it reduces the room sound the most. Finally, I have a third mic option, which is my loyal servant, the Shure SM58. Sometimes a good dynamic microphone is just what you need. Well, actually I have this fourth mic, which I use for video work only. It is mounted above me here and is a shotgun type microphone called Rode NTG2. Alright, next up, instruments. I have a cheap guitar which I don't use that much. When I learn to play guitar better, I want to invest in a nicer guitar. My only hardware synth is this Roland Axe synth, which is great for music videos. Other than that, I don't use my older hardware synths because I love the control I get on software synths. Next up, controllers. My main control station is the Mackie MCU Pro, which controls most things of my DAW. I especially love the great feeling of the transport controls and the jog wheel. It really speeds up my workflow, but you can of course get by with keyboard shortcuts if you prefer that. Over here I have my Native Instruments Machine Micro, which I use to lay down beats and percussion, because pads are simply way better than keys for that. To be honest, I only use it as a MIDI controller these days, because I really don't use the machine software. I prefer to use my DAW sequencer for everything I produce. Next, outboard gear. I really don't use much. I have a DBX compressor and limiter here. Then I have an Allen & Heath analog mixing console back here. I have this little vocal effect box called Roland VE20 here. I also have a Roland Guitar multi-effects box, but I'm probably going to sell that because it is so much easier to use software amps. Again, I'm more into software than hardware for instruments and effects. The best of both worlds to me is hardware that controls software, like my Native Instruments keyboard and my MCU Pro. Next is monitoring. My studio monitors are white versions of the Yamaha HS7, and I really love these speakers. Since I have a really small room, I don't need bigger speakers than these. My main headphones are these closed Shure SRH 840, and my mixing and mastering headphones are my trusted Sennheiser HD600. I also use this external headphone amp called Superlux to drive my headphones. Now, what about the acoustic treatment of my studio? Well, I have these professional acoustic panels including bass traps on the wall. The acoustic panels are called EQ Acoustics, and I find that these work way better than foam-based panels. I also bought a cheap, thick carpet from IKEA because hard floors is really bad for echo. Alright, now, as I've said, I mainly use software instrument and effects plugins these days. So here's an extensive list of all the software plugins and libraries that I use. Native Instruments Complete Ultimate 10, Spectrasonics Omnisphere 2, Spectrasonics Trillion, Spectrasonics Stylus RMX, Addictive Keys, Addictive Drums 2, Ample Guitar 2, Symphobia, Cinematic Strings 2, Cinebrass, Cinewinds, Cineperk Core, Stormchoir 2, Olympus Elements, Shredded 2, Shredded Bass, Black Toms 2, Project Bravo, Shimmer and Shake, Solid State Symphony, Ukulele Strum, Music Box, and Stick Breakers 1, 2 and 3. Alright, so that is my complete music studio as of this recording. I hope you got some ideas and inspiration for your own home music studio setup. So good luck, and I hope you make some awesome music. My name is Mike, signing out, and you rock, my friend! Are you a music maker who wants to become successful with your music? Then join the Music Makers group on Facebook and meet and connect with fellow music makers on the same journey as you.